Video games are a part of everyone's life. Every boy remembers the games they grew up playing and the first time they were introduced to video games. The influence games have had on my life are probably similar to any other man. Learning the controls for the first time, seeing the graphics upgrade on the new console, you get me. Video games give players unique experiences that live as memorable events inside everyone. Recently, I've been seeing a TikTok trend of people's top 10 favorite video games. It's interesting to see how certain video games stick with people and what memories they hold with it. I see some games that I don't enjoy and some that I could relate to. It's fun to see what games stuck with others that to me seem obscure. I've seen a lot of random games on people's lists, but those memories that stick with you make the game a favorite. Although objectively, some games are better than others, the enjoyability of a video game is subjective. Now seeing all these lists, I had to make my own, but 10 isn't enough spots for me, as I like to overthink. So today's video will be my top 50 favorite video games. I won't be including any mobile or flash games, so Raft Wars, Pokemon Go, Run 2, and Super Smash Flash are not going to be on the list. Now, if you disagree with my list, first off, why? It's my favorite video games list. I enjoy these games. Y'all won't have the same connection to these games as I do, so this list is clearly subjective. However, I want to see some of your list too, so comment your list down below. If you are new to this channel, subscribe now because there will be a lot more videos like this. Now enough yapping, let's get to the honorable mentions. Oh, also, spoiler alert ahead for certain games. This game means so much to me that I was surprised that this wouldn't even make my top 50. I was a huge fan of the Walking Dead show, so when I discovered this game, I had to get it. This is the only game I have from the series, but I watched all the gameplay for the other seasons and DLC. In my opinion, this is the second greatest story out of every game franchise I've seen. If you want to be emotionally attached to characters and then gain depression, this game series is for you. Even as a kid, this game gave me a glimpse of what I wanted to be as a father, which is a crazy thought to start having as a child. The journey between Lee and Clementine makes the story so emotional, and I believe this is one of the greatest video game duos of all time. In the future when I have a daughter, I will name her Clementine. That's how much I've attached to these characters and this game. Even with all the influence, this game just couldn't crack my top 50. One of the random games I have on this list. This is literally just a demo for the PS5 and its features, yet it provides a fun experience for a simple platformer. I didn't even touch this game for almost 2 years, even though it came with the console. After hearing Astrobot's great reviews, I decided to play this demo to try out the mechanics before I decided to purchase the game. It is very simple and fun, and I enjoy the cameos the game includes. A lot of these characters have a connection to me since I love PlayStation and its characters. I also got the platinum for it, so I believe this was the second platinum trophy I've ever gotten, since I don't really trophy hunt. But if you have the PS5, try this game out. Pretty fun and it's short. This is the only Bloons game I own, and for some reason, I played it a lot. It seemed like a simple game until I discovered all the extra upgrades for the monkeys. It gave me a reason to play more with friends so I could unlock all the upgrades. I never really played the hard levels, I just did high rounds on easy levels so I could get more XP for each monkey. The ninja monkey is definitely my favorite, and I also like the super robo monkey. I am a huge hater of the DDTs, since those are usually what ruin my runs. This is a fun game to play with friends, and even just have it on the background while doing something. I played this game on the PSP, and it was my first introduction to the Tekken series. This game consists of a lot of great and interesting characters that I grew a connection with. As a kid, I loved animals, so I played Panda and Kuma a lot. I also enjoyed playing Armor King and Devil Jin, but my favorite character from this franchise is easily King. This game could not make my top 50, since it's more of a nostalgia game and I never really played much of the series after. I played a bit of Tekken 7, and I never really enjoyed Tekken 6 as much, so this game could not crack the list. But it was still a fun game, and I had a lot of great memories with it. Now, looking at some other people's opinions and reviews on this game, people don't enjoy this game. It kinda shocks me because I had a fun experience with this game. I'm a huge fan of LEGO games, and you'll see as we progress through the list. And this is probably the most random one I have in this video. I owned LEGO Star Wars, but I don't remember even playing it. I played LEGO Harry Potter with my cousin, and I'm a huge hater of the LEGO Movie video game. But maybe I'll rant about that a different time. Anyways, the most memorable part of this game for me is the ant boss battle. As mentioned earlier, I was an animal lover as a kid, and it was funny to see the villains get dragged by a bunch of ants, and I even remember using the skull to make all the ants walk away. But I don't know, that seemed really cool to me as a kid. A lot of people don't like this game apparently, but I had an enjoyable experience, and the boss battle will always be memorable to me. Now this is a weird honorable mention because I don't even own this game, nor have I ever even played the actual game. Me and my cousin would play the demo for this game on the Xbox repeatedly because of how fun this indie beat 'em up system was. We never purchased the actual game, but we were addicted with the simple combat and cool art style this game has, so I wouldn't be surprised if we reached at least 20 hours playing this demo. Since I didn't even own the game, and I only played the demo, this had to be an honorable mention, since I literally have not played the actual game. But the demo itself was so fun to replay as a kid that I had to have it mentioned. Now you would think this game would be in the top 50, because if you have played it, it could easily be in people's top 10. My reason for this being an honorable mention is that I did not own the game. I played it on my brother-in-law's PS3, and I would only play it when I was over at my sister's condo. So I never finished the game, but I had so much fun playing it. If you have played this game, you would agree with how enjoyable the mechanics are. I am very disappointed with how Sony has completely erased these games, because you can't even purchase the games anymore, and they haven't even made remasters for the games for newer platforms. I wish I could own this game for myself and play it again to finish the game this time. Okay, listen, just hear me out, okay? This game isn't that bad. It's fun. I played every character's story and basically completed all the main stuff I can do. I enjoyed the mechanics of swinging the Joy-Cons and having the character punch. I think that was really cool as a game control. I have a bit of bias with this game because it was the only other game I got when I first got the Nintendo Switch. Now, let me say this to the EB Games employee who scammed us with this game though. Yes, this game is fun, but telling me this is the reason you are getting the Switch made me think this would be a generational experience. It wasn't. Yes, it's fun, but you convinced us that I should get this game over Breath of the Wild and Splatoon 2. And I have never played those games in my life, yet it looks so fun. Those could be on my game wish list, but we could save that for another video. This game was hard to play for multiplayer, since it's not a fun online experience and it's very expensive to get another pair of Joy-Cons. So the main mechanic of swinging and having the characters punch is completely useless. I was forced to just press buttons to fight with my cousin on this game, which takes away the most enjoyable part. But nonetheless, it was cool to go through each character's story, and my mains will always be Min Min, Ninjara, and Kid Cobra. This game is a very fun decision-making story that alters the outcome for each character's journey as you go through. It is a unique experience, and I am so surprised I got no spoilers since I didn't play this game until like 2023 or 2022 I think. It is very fun, and let me just say that Hank and Luther are the goats of this game. I did not put it higher on this list since I didn't replay the game to get all the outcomes. I did enjoy how after each chapter, it shows you the branches of your decisions. I think that's a really cool way of seeing how many possibilities there are in the game. Unless I'm mistaken, there hasn't really been another game like this that has dropped. I know there's obviously other decision-making story games, but I don't think this studio has dropped another game like this since. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I would love to try it. But yeah, Detroit is a critical, quick-thinking decision-making story game for those who like games like The Walking Dead or any other Telltale games. This is the 2019 Modern Warfare, which obviously is not loved by the core COD fans. This is the first new Call of Duty entry I got since Black Ops 3 probably. I enjoyed the campaign, and the graphics on the cutscenes were really shocking for a PS4 game. The multiplayer was cool, and the Spec Ops wasn't terrible but disappointing to what I'm used to. The campaign really carried this for me since the missions were very memorable, especially the house raid mission where you go through the house with the night vision goggles and scope out the area. It was a fun story and a cool reintroduction to the COD series. Probably the most random entry on this list, as I guarantee many of you probably have never heard of this game at all. It was a random Steam game made by the same creators who made Crab Game, which was trending around 2021 I think. This game is like Minecraft, where you collect materials in a certain order, progressively getting stronger. Each night mobs spawn and sometimes there will be a boss. There are even statues to summon bosses to help get tools or materials needed to beat the game. There are also chests around the map to gain power-ups, which are crucial to beating bosses. I played this game when it first came out, and they eventually updated the game to add more bosses, mobs, and tools. It was super fun to play with friends, and bosses spawning while you are low on materials and power-ups is horrifying. It's free on Steam, so I suggest playing this with friends so you can all learn about the game along with the terrifying introductions to bosses once they spawn. I believe I have some muck streams up on my channel, so you guys can check that out. First off, I want to say I could not beat this game. This game is difficult as hell. It's a super stressful platformer with funky physics that creates hilarious mistakes when you play with others. I wish there was an online for this game, and it would have been so much easier to play with friends. This was still a super enjoyable experience, and I'm sure any friends I introduce to this game get horrified once they bump into the giant spiders. I think the furthest me and my friends made it was the ice levels with the mammoths and UFOs or whatever. This game is super fun to play with friends, and it had to make my list. I just really wish there was online for it. This game is only on the list because it carried my quarantine. This game made me hate ranked forever, and I haven't played a ranked game in anything ever since. This game is very enjoyable to go back to, and I have some videos on this channel where me and my friends goof around in this game. There are funny and memorable moments I hold with this game, even though I hated actually playing this game to sweat. My gameplay is very boring since I play Sentinels, so I just camp with Killjoy or Cypher. I also don't like how long it takes to unlock new agents. Even though I hate the competitive part of this game with a passion, this game meant a lot during quarantine, so it's fun to go back to and play on serious. I have Pokemon X and Pokemon White, but it was so long ago that I can't even remember anything from the game other than the Pokemon, which is why this is the only Pokemon entry on the list. I really like the Gigantamax forms this game had, since it was the closest thing we had to Megas since Gen 6. I can't remember ever completing the Pokédex in this game, but the story was pretty good, and it was nice to finally play a Pokemon game while paying attention to the story. As a kid, I didn't pay attention to White or X, I just wanted all the Pokemon pretty much. So this is the first Pokemon game I played as an actual game, taking in the story, combat, and objectives. I can't remember the exact version I have of this game, but I'm pretty sure it was the On Fire edition. Basketball is my favorite sport ever, so this game was just so funky and goofy, but still enjoyable for a basketball game. The big heads and funny animations for the dunks made this game enjoyable to play against my cousin. Not much to say about this other than it's a fun, arcade-style basketball game to play with others. Speaking about sports, if you want to count wrestling as a sport, this is my second favorite sport. I can't remember how I got introduced to WWE, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is how I discovered it. So many cool moves you can do, and the controls are very easy to understand even at the young age I played this game. I remember all the Hell in a Cell matches I would play, and just anything TLC was fun to play with my cousin. I really wish the newer WWE games had this much fun and nothing super complicated like the 2K ones. This was the only SmackDown vs. Raw I own, and it's still an enjoyable wrestling game. Before I get hate for this was easily the game I played most during quarantine, unfortunately. As much as this game gets hated, the actual content, combat, characters, and lore make this game enjoyable for me. Yes, I hate the community, and playing this game competitively is awful, and there are absolute toxic chair-sniffing losers that prioritize their wins over their own life. I really enjoyed the TFT part of this game, which is the auto chess mode. There were other modes in this game like Earth and Nexus Blitz, which I wish were permanent modes instead of limited time. These modes made the game super fun since they were very unserious and there was no reason to sweat. I even made this game fun for myself by playing characters with items that didn't match their meta, like an AP Volibear or a tank Asol, but my mains were Nautilus for support and probably Garen for top lane. There's a lot of stupid builds I ran, which made this game a tiny bit enjoyable for how toxic the environment in this game is. Please watch a video I have up on his channel which was edited by my close friend Someone Who Exists. If you like review channels and video games, I suggest you check out his channel because his content is very interesting and he is the hardest working content creator I know. This game arguably holds the funniest moments ever when playing a video game. The levels and mechanics are so unique, and the goofiness of the game make every session 10 times funnier. The reason I don't have this higher is because of how long this game took to complete between me and my friends. We took probably over a year break from this game, which doesn't raise it higher. But even though, it's so funny to play this game with friends, and if you play this with your significant other, get ready for arguments. This game was the reason I bought the PS5. I held off for that long, but got the console just to play this game. The only downside for this game was how long some of the cutscenes were. The story for this game is amazing, and the combat system is phenomenal. All the different powers from the summons boost the combat extremely over other games for me. I believe this game would have been more at the top if there was better post-game content. I wanted to roam around the world again and just hunt more monsters or something. One thing this game lacked for me was the monsters, as there wasn't really a huge or game-changing monster that was just roaming in the open world. The best part of this game for me though was the Titan boss battle, as it is ridiculous on how giant this boss is. Probably the biggest character I've ever faced in a game, and if you ever played this game, you would know how insanely big the Titan becomes during this battle. Even with the lack of post-game content, this game is still very enjoyable, and the combat is one of my favorite combat systems ever. I still can't believe how ridiculously good this game was during the launch. There was no reason for this game to be a banger. Completely killed Overwatch and basically retired Black Ops 6 for me, since I didn't even touch the game once this came out. This was the hardest platinum trophy I've ever gotten so far, since I'm not much of a trophy hunter. I usually play games, and if I notice how many trophies I'm earning from going through the story, I just decide to complete the platinum trophy. Seeing how most of this game's platinum was about getting a certain objective with each character, I had to try it out. For me, Punisher and Cloak took the longest out of any trophy. Black Panther is probably the hardest trophy to get, especially with how hard he is to play on controller. By the time I start planning this video, I just reached Lord on Namor and lost all motivation to play this game. As said earlier, I refuse to play ranked, so I don't even try to sweat this game. There aren't any more characters I find interesting or enjoy playing, which is funny since I had to play every character to get to platinum. Either way, this game is probably the only game I have on here with recency bias, but it's still a great game with one of the best launches I've experienced. You would be surprised by how much I enjoyed this game because I didn't even play zombies that much. The zombies is objectively the best in the series, and I didn't even play that much since I never knew how to do the Easter egg. I played a lot of multiplayer, and that experience definitely carries this game for me. I usually never play multiplayer when it comes to COD, since I was always bad at facing real opponents, and I did bad online, but this game had such a fun multiplayer experience that I had to play. The only thing with this game is that it only had one zombie launch map, which I didn't like. I was so used to the previous Black Ops games having multiple zombies maps, so that was part of the reason I didn't play zombies much. This game is probably worse objectively than BO3, but I played this game way more than it. I even went back to this game in like 2023 or 2022 I think. I probably have the streams up somewhere on this channel. The zombies for this was so randomly scary, and the objectives for the Easter egg, if you want to call it that, made it more reasonable to stay focused and keep playing the game with friends. Shout out to Josh and Tony for completing the zombies with me. The campaign was also really good and the multiplayer was pretty fun, but my least favorite part of the game like most other CODs. The Thunder Bus will always be a goated gun, and the game brought many enjoyable memories. Man, I hate how Ultimate Alliance 3 was a Switch exclusive and didn't follow the previous game of realistic graphics. Ultimate Alliance 2 had so many characters that were so funny to play that the team up boost meant nothing to me. This game has a lot more memorable missions and environments as well. The Goliath boss battle is my favorite mission from this game, and it can even be Yellow Jacket, but I can't remember if it was a decision that switched the boss, but either way, it was my favorite. Wakanda was easily the funniest setting for a mission, because I would just throw all the women soldiers off the waterfall with Hulk, and it was hilarious and fun to do as a kid. I just really wish Ultimate Alliance 3 was not a Switch exclusive, because this game meant so much to my childhood, and influenced a lot of my opinions on superheroes and Marvel today. This was the last 2K that I purchased for myself. I think that I have the most hours on 2K24 since I got it for free, and yet it was the worst one I played. By the way, I'm a My Team player, so most of my experiences and bias comes from My Team as I never liked my career at all. I'd play a bit of My League every now and then, but My Team was always my favorite. I hate that they removed 2K MTC because I would definitely tell you guys how fun this game was if I could remember all the cards in the game. I had this top 50 games list for a while and would update it every year and a half or so, and this game stayed in the top 50, so there's definitely something that happened that is just hidden in my memories. Don't got much to say other than I remember being good at the My Team. They got to bring back Fight Night right now because Undisputed has awful KO animations. This story is amazing and the controls make it so exciting to play. The combos are very easy to throw and the little flashes and stuns after each perfect counterpunch make this game feel like you are actually boxing. The worst part of this game though is that dreadful, horrifying, terrifying, all-powerful, absolute menace, Isaac Frost. I have never seen a sports game with a boss battle that made me want to cry. I've never played any Souls games, so Isaac Frost is easily the hardest boss I have ever faced. Even after rebooting my PS3 around 2024, I still could not beat this battle without help from YouTube tutorials. How are you going to make the first objective of this battle? Survive. You literally had to run away and pray for the first part of this battle because he has infinite stamina and maximum power. Blocking punches literally does nothing, and I still have nightmares from this man. He's easily up there with Vaughn and 2009 Randy Orton as the world's most dangerous menaces of all time. This game is still amazing and the roster is full of legends, which makes it so fun to play casual still. The open world aspect of this game makes it a spectacular atmosphere for a LEGO video game. This was the first entry in the series that turned it into a DC game with all the heroes and villains from the comics. I can't remember much since it's from my childhood. I do remember my game being glitched forever because Gotham is in chaos forever for some reason, even though I completed the game. Everyone in the world is still running away from villains, and I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to do that, unless I'm wrong. Please correct me in the comments. My favorite part of this game, which I can remember, is raiding the zoo and just riding gorillas and giraffes. But yeah, not much to say other than it's a fun open world LEGO video game. This game objectively has to be a top 10 or even top 5 game of all time. This game is the epitome of generational. A game that spanned across 3 different generations of consoles. This game aged amazingly. The graphics are amazing for its time, and the story is still super enjoyable. Those late night drives with Radio Los Santos are a great nostalgic memory for me. A lot of songs on that radio are on my summer playlist now, just to get that feeling again. I didn't even play online that much until recently since I only played it on the PS3. I still don't understand the online grind at all, and I'm just a story mode replayer, which is still fun for me. This was my first introduction to 2K and my first introduction to the game of basketball. This is one of the most important games of my life as it literally sparked my love for basketball. Without this game, I wouldn't know as much as I do about basketball. The soundtrack for this game is phenomenal and easily the best sports soundtrack I have ever heard so far. Jeremy Lamb in this game was OP, and I know some people say that he was better in 2K14, but I could not miss with this man in 13. I played a lot of Blacktop, and even the All-Star mode had its fun moments. I missed the rhythm system for the dunk contest, and I still think that was the best easily out of the dunk systems. This is the most important piece of basketball to me since it's paved the way for my love of the game, got me into sports, and got me to learn about the past and everything along the way. I think this game is objectively worse than the second one obviously, but I played this game about 3 times through and through, which puts it higher on the list for me. I played this with my cousin and my friends 2 other times. This was the first random game I've ever bought after my brother-in-law introduced it to me as a kid. It is still super fun and is still enjoyable to this day. I think that this game caused more arguments than funny moments compared to the sequel, but I played this game way more than the second one. I literally struggle to remember stuff from this game other than it was a fun and good sequel to the first one. I think a lot of people don't like this one compared to the first and third game. I don't ever remember this game being bad, just another enjoyable LEGO game I played as a kid. This is also the first LEGO game I played that had voice acting in it, I'm pretty sure, so it was pretty weird but still cool to have. It made it feel like an actual game and showed the evolving maturity in the series as it strayed away from the no dialogue LEGO game that would purely be for kids. Again, not much to say other than it was a cool LEGO game. The best WWE game I will ever play in my life, and I can't see any possible way this could be overtaken by any of the garbage that 2K is putting out. The controls weren't too complex, and there were the OMG moments that you could perform that made the game much more exciting to play. I also remember the simple customization you could do for each superstar's attire. The highlight for this game for me is easily the Attitude Era. I never grew up in the Attitude Era, but I learned about its great moments in superstars because of this mode. I think this is a great way to unlock superstars as you progress through the years and pivotal moments. Not like the garbage My Faction or My Rise unlockables that force you to grind hours on this game just to get one extra superstar. I think this game is easily the best WWE game ever, and I even remember getting the DLC for this game, which was pretty rare for me as a kid. I never purchased DLCs for games as a kid that much, but I played this game a lot, so I had to get the DLC for this one. Easily the best wrestling game I have ever played. People debate this is the worst 2K game, but y'all don't know ball like that. The My Team was probably the best I have ever done since I have better players than the other games. I remember the Diamond 98 Kobe I got in the auction house, and the Diamond All-Star LeBron I pulled at my cousin's birthday. There was much more to play in this game since they had an insane schedule mode, which had you go through I think about 300 games, which I obviously never completed. It's still hard to remember this game since 2K MTC went down, so I can't remember all the cards, but I definitely remember this game being the game with my best personal team. Along with ARMS, this was the game I got with my Switch. I played this game for hours and hours, completing each cup and collecting all the custom cards. The golden card took forever to get, and I don't even know if I got the gold wheels since I was so bad at facing that speedrun AI or whatever. It was hilarious to me how I never realized I had the safe steering on for the longest time, but I remember instantly learning shortcuts once I took that off. Y'all might get mad at me, but I play with auto drive on, because I don't see why I should be holding A the whole time if I'm never gonna stop. This game also holds an important memory for me, as the last day of elementary school was all the grade 8s and grade 7s playing this game on multiple TVs and smartboards. Shout out to someone who exists who I mentioned earlier, since he brought his GameCube for people to play Double Dash, I'm pretty sure. This game was very important to me, but as we progress through the list, you'll see it isn't my favorite game on the Switch. Yes, I'm counting this as a game. There's so many different games I've played on Roblox that I cannot mention everything. The main games I've played growing up were Natural Disaster Survival, Restaurant Tycoon, and Prison Life. Epic Minigames, Murder Mystery, and Item Asylum are amazing games to play with friends. There's also those old gems that I miss playing, like Brick Bronze, Parkour, and a game I grinded like crazy called Faction Clash Tycoon. There's so many games I couldn't mention that actually never mind. So other games I had to mention are Hide and Seek, Blocks Hunt, Dragon Rage, Doomspire Brick Battle, Lucky Blocks, Zombie Rush, and Project Lazarus. There's a new game I discovered called Dead Rails that I've been playing with my homie Josh, so shout out to him. But yeah, Roblox is great, and I can always go back to it and relive those experiences I had as a kid. This was my first LEGO game I played and is super nostalgic to me. I'm a random fan of LEGO Clayface and he's the picture of one of my Spotify playlists for no reason at all. I really like how you toggle between heroes and villains and be in different settings, switching from the Batcave and Arkham Asylum. I remember becoming fans of Clayface and Man-Bat because of this game, and I've connected with those characters ever since. Like said, this was my first LEGO game, so it paved the path for all LEGO games that came after, so this is definitely one of those important games to me. There's also a very nostalgic memory I have with this game, playing it on the Xbox 360 while my brother was blasting his music on the speakers. So there's a lot of rap songs I find super nostalgic and connect with this game because of that. This game has easily provided me with the most nostalgia out of any game I've played. This is my favorite 2K game of all time and the first one I played in the new gen at the time. I never upgraded to the PS4 version of 2K14, so this is the first 2K game that looks super realistic to me. It was also the first time I ever played my team, so I was introduced to that grind mindset when it came to the game. Some of the best memories I have with this game I still remember. I am a hater for this game, but I still enjoyed it. I didn't even get this game on launch, but after seeing how many of my friends were playing it, I had to buy it. I really love this game and I hate that my original island data got deleted, so I will never see that again. I had my own merch shop and everything, it was so cool. I remember all I wanted to do was complete the museum, and I never did. I never committed to playing the game for a full year, even after I went back to it after a few years. This game got ruined for me once they added the Sea Creatures update, since I was already progressing to completing the museum. It basically reset my progress and needed me to play for much longer to finally complete my museum. This game was very fun with friends, and I'll always have more knowledge on bugs and fish because of this game. I was probably one of the worst island designers, and it didn't help when I saw my homegirl's island and she literally had arcades, campsites, cafes, and things I didn't even know were in the game. I never had the full commitment to this game, but it was still a super chill vibe to go through. Before we get to the top 20, I'd like to give a shout out to this video's sponsor, the Retro Repair Shop. If you guys want a great and cheap price to repair any controllers, consoles, or cartridges, then you should hit up the Retro Repair Shop just for that. Doesn't matter if it's old or new, the Retro Repair Shop will fix your problems as if it was brand new. They also do cleaning for cartridges and controllers for super cheap prices. If you guys even want to revive any old electronics, you can hit them up to see if they can help you out with your problem. I got my PS5 controller fixed and my PS3 inspected, and it really helped me out. Check out my link in the description for their Instagram and DM them with any questions or favors you guys need. Now, back to the video. I became a Marvel fan because of Ultimate Alliance 2, but this game boosted my love for the characters. This was the very first LEGO game where I completed everything I could and collected all the characters without any help from my brother. This game was pivotal for my childhood and made me realize that I'm no longer a clueless kid when playing video games. I understood objectives and did it with no help, which is something I was very proud of as a kid. This game had so many characters that it introduced me to, and I was definitely trying to find a LEGO set that had characters from this game. This is easily my favorite LEGO game of all time, and one of the best superhero games I've ever played. This is the highest entry for a game on this list that I've never owned myself. I never had my own copy of this game, and I would just always play this at my cousin's house and play it at my friend's crib, which is weird because I remember completing the campaign, which is crazy for a game you play at someone else's. The most memorable part of the campaign for me was the first mission where the fat guy dies and his corpse just keeps the elevator door open. That was always a funny visual to me. The zombies was obviously my favorite part of this game, and I actually enjoyed 5 more than Kino der Toten. This game was a great start to the Black Ops series, which is one of the most underrated trilogies in video games in my opinion. As a game I didn't even own personally, It being this high on the list proves the amazing quality this entry produces. It took me a while to get this game, and I'm very surprised I never got this game spoiled. This is such a great game to represent Spider-Man and his character. The combat system and traversal controls when swinging make this game one of the elite PlayStation games. The map, villains, and story gave me a phenomenal experience, and was very enjoyable, especially as a Spider-Man fan myself. The different suits and even the little collectibles and side missions give this game a lot to complete, which is crucial for these types of story games. This was a great game and a beautiful representation for the Spider-Man character. One of the most underrated COD games of all time. This game had such a gut-wrenching campaign with such memorable missions. That final mission as a Juggernaut is personally my favorite final mission in any COD game, and was a perfect ending to the trilogy. The Spec Ops mode was also very memorable to me as a kid, as it terrified me with how stealthy and difficult it was to complete. You had to be very precise in the operations, and I would do it with my brother as a kid, and you were just used to running in and shooting enemies. I remember being instantly killed after being spotted, and it made me lock in so my brother wouldn't get mad at me. I can't remember specific missions, and after researching, it seems I might have some false memories of the game. I always held a memory with this game of playing a stealth mission as a sniper where there was enemies posted up outside a church and you had to take out each enemy silently. I literally cannot find a single thing related to this mission, but I definitely remember it being with this game. Anyways, this game had a super great campaign and is one of the best CODs ever. One of the newer entries on this list. This is such an overlooked game and is PlayStation's last banger. I bought this game after enjoying Playroom, and my god did it live up to my expectations. All the different power-ups made this game so fun and refreshing. The cameos being a part of the progress through levels is so great, and I love how they all stay in the main hub of the game. The trials still give me PTSD with how unnecessarily difficult they were, and the soundtrack for this game is amazing. I also earned a platinum for this game, and I will defend this game with all my heart. I never really played any other 3D platformers, so this game was super enjoyable with the simple controls and mechanics. I also love how there's a little claw machine game you can play to collect animations for the cameo bots, so they can do stuff while on the hub. This game also added some post-game launch content that I have already completed. If you want to watch my full playthrough of this game, I have the streams up on my channel right now. If you are subscribed to me, you should know how much this game means to me already. Shout out to Josh, Tony, Angelo, and also Nick for being the friends I played with on this channel. This game literally brought together my friend group, and I had no idea how important this game would mean to me. When the game first launched, I was really bad at it. I was a Lifeline main when I started, and I hate it because I got an heirloom at level 4, so I just bought it for Lifeline, which I will forever hate. My mains throughout have been Bloodhound and Fuse. There have been generational clutches and moments that come with this game, and most of them are up on this channel. Most of my videos are Apex videos, so I suggest to check them out if you enjoy goofy and funky edited gameplay montages. Amazing fighting game that literally is the reason for my username. There have been so many arcade runs I've gone through with this game, and I love the amount of characters. My main team would always be Virgil and Dante, with Zero or Deadpool being swapped out every now and then. You would think Rio would be part of my team, since my name is Dat Sick God, with the SYK being a short form for Shoryuken. But the true story is Deadpool always mocking Ryu by yelling Shoryuken, and me copying how he says it all the time. This game has such a fun combat system, a banger menu theme, and was easily one of the most influential games of all time for me. This made Capcom my favorite game developer of all time, and I wish they made a fourth game so bad. Moving on. Why would this game not be on the list? Whether you're a hater or not, you cannot deny how generational this game is. I was playing from Season 0, I got the Mako glider to prove for it. I bought Save the World, I have the Black Knight, like I am an OG. This game in its prime is untouched, and I have never experienced any prime that was better than Prime Fortnite. The amount of money I spent on this game was stupid, and I will never forget the amount of memories and friends I met from this game. There are a lot of old streams from elementary that I have up on my channel. Season 4 has to be the best season of all time, and even till this day, it finds new ways to bring back players, and I usually go back to the game every now and then. I love how they are treating this game and adding consistently new content. Even when creative first dropped, I remember that I had a world full of music notes where I made music and also tried to remake Transit. I love how the game has evolved and how insane creative has become. I also enjoy Festival, and the concerts and the live events are super fun experiences. I guarantee if it kept track of my hours across all platforms, this is easily my most played video game of all time, and I don't see anything else beating it. This game will forever be a part of every man's gaming life. This game is so good, man. My gosh, I hate the sequel so much. If you never played this game, then oh my gosh, you missed out bad. The player hub was so funny and super cool to see as a kid. The story is foggy in memory, but exploring planets and upgrading weapons to better rarities created the grind of this game. I remember the hunts and expansions and how I would literally call my friends over the phone to set up missions together to unlock new weapons and armor. The combat and abilities in this game made it much more complex for a first-person shooter, and wow, the customization was extraordinary. There has never been another game like this I have ever experienced, not even a damn sequel. This was truly one of the greatest first experiences I've had playing a game, and I wish this game had lasted longer than it did. Sony and PlayStation, I will hate you forever until you release a sequel to this game. One of the most disappointing games of all time, yet it was super enjoyable to me. The PlayStation version of Smash Bros. That had a combat system which took out the balance and competitiveness compared to any other platform fighters. I'm not gonna rant on how much better this game should have been, but I will say how much this game means to me. This game made me fall in love with PlayStation and its characters, and I literally had to play through each character's arcade to unlock their costume. I love the amount of minions and profile pictures there are, which make you grind certain characters, similar to the Lord system in Marvel Rivals. This game felt more like a party game to me than a fighting game, since you were just spamming buttons more than doing combos. The story of each character having a rival and having different cutscenes depending on which arcade you are playing is super unique compared to others. The intro was a banger, and the soundtrack is great as well. I love this game so much, and I wish I had more, cause it would easily be number 1. I will glaze this game till I die, and I am praying for a sequel forever. The gaming community needs a second PlayStation All-Stars. This game was going to be somewhere, and I think it's perfect to have it at the 10th spot. This is the most generational game of all time in my opinion, since I see no reason for them to make a sequel for another decade. I say that assuming they decide to add more than one major update every year. I feel like this game could be so much more, but it's already perfect the way it is. There's so much to update and fix, but the game is still phenomenal. Those 2-week phases my friends always have every now and then are super fun, and the game is always great. I wish I committed to finishing my personal creative zoo, and I just love building stuff in creative. I wish servers were free, however, without someone needing to turn it on. I had so many fun moments in Minecraft since like grade 4, and there has been so many stupid builds I have done in my worlds. Obviously, there are so many YouTubers that I enjoyed watching because of Minecraft, and some of those parodies will be stuck in my head forever. There's nothing else I gotta say other than it's generational and will forever be a great game. This game was the perfect ending to Nathan Drake's story. If you haven't played Uncharted, I suggest you play all entries. This game makes you feel all the emotions, and that final battle was so memorable. The series has an amazing soundtrack to follow with it, and it makes those moments in the story feel much more important. There are always memorable moments in this series, and this was easily the best ending to the story. This is probably my favorite video game franchise, and this is the only series where I hope they never make a game again. It was the perfect ending to a historic franchise, and I am excited for anything new Naughty Dog has to offer. I hate that I no longer own my copy of this game. I gave it to my cousin to play just for him to never play it, and my aunt threw it out. This game is now like 170 plus wherever I look, and it just pisses me off. This game is super underrated, and is literally a perfect way of representing the Spider-Verse in a video game. having your regular Peter Parker be the main Spider-Man, Spider-Man Noir with all the stealth missions, Spider-Man 2099 being your quick combatant, and the symbiote Spider being this rage-induced Spider-Man. I love how the missions work in this game, where each character faces a major Spider-Man villain. There are 3 villains for each Spider-Man, and the missions get progressively harder. This game made me a Spider-Man fan, and 2099 will always be my favorite, just cause of this game, unlike you horny Across the Spider-Verse fans that just like Miguel's backshots. There's so many memorable levels for this game, and I could literally just say all of it. As a kid, I was terrified of the stealth levels, so I'm pretty sure my brother played all the noir levels for me. Scorpion, Electro, Kraven, and Deadpool gotta be my favorite missions from this game. The credits for this game are also funny, as it shows us what happened to each villain after the events of this game. This was such a fun game as a kid, and I wish every Spider-Man fan could play this. The best modern warfare of all time without a doubt, and the greatest campaign in COD history. I cannot tell you how much this game shaped my love for COD, and I didn't even play the multiplayer. The Snowmobile mission and Burger Town standoff gotta be one of my best missions I've ever played. Loose ends with Ghost and the Shepard betrayal gotta be the reason I have trust issues today. One of the biggest plot twists in gaming, and one of the most heartbreaking moments I've gone through in video games. The museum is a fun little end mission that becomes a whole horror movie once you press that red button. This game is simply amazing, and there's nothing else I gotta say about it. I'm surprised by how much people didn't like this game, even though it was an upgrade from the first. Being able to play as Miles alongside Peter and having the symbiote as an additional power was a great addition to the already spectacular combat. The gliding traversal mechanic and now the expanded map made this game a perfect upgrade from the first one. Spoilers ahead, so skip a bit to dodge the story if you want to play. The symbiote takeover is absolutely insane and made the game so horrifying out of nowhere. It was so shocking when they allowed you to play as Venom, and even the battle between Miles and symbiote Peter was an out-of-world experience. The reveal of Venom having wings had me losing my mind, cause I have never seen that in my life. Miles' ugly ass suit also had me losing my mind, cause there was no reason for him to have that on in the final mission. I also platinumed this game and I kept playing till I got every collectible and suit. I really wish there was DLC for this game, cause I felt like it needed a bit more missions. Even so, this game is still a great sequel to the already amazing first game. Easily the best entry in the series, Uncharted 2 is so memorable to me because of how many OMG moments there were in the game. The intro to this game is phenomenal, and the best intro I've seen in a video game alongside The Last of Us. It seems Naughty Dog has some of the most life-changing intros to some of their games. This was my first Uncharted game, and the only one I have alongside the last. I watched the gameplay for the first and third because of how much this game made me fall in love with the franchise. The tank mission with Tenzin was suspenseful, and the reveal of the Yeti while you're climbing in the snow was horrifying. This game's atmosphere is absolutely stunning, and the visuals had to have been mind-blowing for its time. This was the game that made me fall in love with Uncharted, and this game will always hold a special place in my heart. Every Far Cry fan usually dislikes the game, and I would disagree. The primal approach to the Far Cry series and limiting players to old caveman tools like clubs, spears, and arrows really sets the player in the time, setting, and environment. Like mentioned many times in this video, I love animals, and this game was the epitome of an open world hunting game. The story itself was also really good, and I wish they made a sequel or another primal type game. The funny moments of attacking people while riding a mammoth and hunting the beast master hunts made this game so special to me. There are so many fun side missions and wildlife to hunt in this game that made you feel like you were living in the primal era. The intro to this game is magnificent, and the boss battles are great too. Like every Far Cry game, there are all the outposts you can take, which really gives the players more things to do in this open world. I think the only thing this game was missing was the map creator like previous Far Cry games. I have some super old videos I have up on this channel if you guys want to check it out, where I hunt every single animal in the game. This will probably be the next game I platinum if I ever go back to it, and this will forever be my favorite Far Cry game. The greatest COD game of all time, and there will never be another one like it. The multiplayers and zombies were my favorite of all time, and I had fantastic experiences playing this game. Transit is forever my favorite zombie map, and I cannot tell you the amount of hours I would play with my elementary friends and my cousin. I feel like this zombies ruined all the Easter egg hunting in future ones since I was just a high round zombies player as a kid. I remember farming headshots with the FAL and farming hordes with the RPD and hammer. The ballistic knife was also overpowered in early rounds, so I'd never pass up on it at the diner mystery box. The multiplayer is amazing and gave me a bit of confidence as a kid since it was always intimidating to play against real players back in the day. Hijacked is my favorite map ever, but I was always a fan of Raid, Nuketown, Express, Plaza, and Carrier. I loved using the KSG since it was literally a long-range shotgun and it felt pretty overpowered. I wish I could see how many hours I got in this game because I feel like it had to have been at least 300, which is a lot for an elementary student. I need this game to be remastered so I can relive those experiences and maps. And I also need custom emblems back. This was my first Final Fantasy and my very first huge open world combat game. I never played the old Final Fantasies and I'm not a fan of the turn-based combat like regular RPGs. I really enjoyed the story of this game and the environment and map is amazing. There's so many creatures and monsters in this game that make hunting a fun activity to do as a side mission. The combat system was a true first experience to me of open world combat, and switching between different weapons was so sick to me as a kid. I even loved the summons and the animations because it made you feel godly. There's so much to do in this game along with the dungeons and side missions. I know the game got updated but I completely stopped playing at that point, but I'd love to give it another try. There are enemies that are so huge it'll baffle your mind. The Adamantoise hunt was one of the craziest side missions I've ever done. So many creatures in this game are fun to hunt that I can't even pronounce, so I'm gonna just put the images up. The Tonberries and Cactuar will always give me PTSD since they are the most innocent looking menaces you will face in the game. It even sets the tone for the enemies in this game when you see the zoo creature flying in the sky near the start of the game. The soundtrack for this game is phenomenal and it carried all those exam studies I had. The characters in this game are amazing as well, and I love how each character specializes in something. Noctis is a fisher, Gladiolus is the survival expert, Ignis is the cook, and Prompto is the photographer. The southern desert vibe in Hammerhead and the calm vacation feeling in Golden Key are some of the most nostalgic locations in this game for me. I love everything about this game and there's literally no complaint about anything. This is one of my 10 out of 10 games and I will defend this game with my life. I will definitely stream this game in the future and it was my number one spot for a very long time, but not anymore. Never in a million years would I think I would enjoy a game more than Final Fantasy 15. I have about 925 hours on this game, which makes it my most played game on record. This game really introduced me to Nintendo and its characters, and was the game that saved my Switch. I was thinking of selling my Switch until this game was announced, and my god did it change my life. I collected every spirit in the game and probably replayed World of Light about 10 times. I spent hours online with my friends, and shout out to Owen for torturing me, but somehow making me learn every character. I would say the characters I played most were probably Rob, Hero, and Yoshi, but I wouldn't call them my mains cause I literally just go random since I can play any character. The DLC made this game so much better, and introduced me to Nintendo Directs and the Game Awards, as I awaited reveals for new characters. That E3 Direct revealing Hero and Banjo was amazing, and I'm so glad characters like Min Min, Kazuya, and Sephiroth got in. Byleth was probably the most disappointing last character for the first Fighter Pass, but my god did we get a perfect ending with Sora as the final character. This game can never be topped at all, and the amount of torture and fun moments I had with this game are unmatched. This game brought together so many of my friends and will forever be my favorite game to play at parties. So much of my video game knowledge stemmed from this game, as I speculated characters and spirits that could be added in future games or updates. This game taught me so much about video games and will probably stay at my number one spot for a very long time. There has never been any other game that has given me the joy, laughs, sweat, and tears I got from playing. With the amount of hours I spent, characters I learned, sleep I sacrificed to watch the Rex in the morning, and brain cells I used to speculate DLC can never be matched by any other game. This game changed my life and reunited me with old friends, so this game holds a special place at my number one spot for favorite video games of all time. Video games will always be a part of me, and this list is just the beginning of what's more to come. I'm hoping this channel can do really well so I can stream all the games that I wanted to play my whole life. I'm glad I have a great group of friends that are also into gaming, since there's so much to learn about video games. This whole list was compiled just from me overthinking after seeing these TikToks of favorite games. I hope that I can experience more games, and this list would probably be totally different in maybe even the next 5 years of my life. A couple of the games mentioned can be found on my channel, so check them out if you want to see some funny gaming montages. If this is your first time here and you enjoyed the video, leave a like and press that subscribe button because I'm hoping to get more videos out in a consistent time span. There will be more list videos to start, but best believe there are going to be other video ideas I'm coming up with. Thanks for sticking with me through all 50 games and explanations, and leave a comment of your favorite games as well. If you guys have any suggestions for games I should play after hearing this list, then please comment down below and I'll definitely keep note of it somewhere to play in the future. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all again.